The morning sun filtered through the glass roof of JFK International Airport, scattering ribbons of gold over travelers dragging their suitcases, unaware that within the hour the entire place would stand still in collective disbelief and tears. Officer Daniel Hayes had been on duty for 5 years with his canine partner, Rexer German Shepherd, known not just for his sharp instincts, but for his almost human intuition. Rex had saved lives before, but nothing could have prepared Daniel for what was about to unfold. They were on a routine security check near Terminal 4, watching the endless stream of passengers. Everything was ordinary until Rex suddenly froze. His ears perked, his tail stiff, his gaze locked on a young woman in line, her hand gently cradling a rounded belly beneath a loose sweater. She looked anxious, her eyes darting toward the boarding gate. Daniel had seen nervous travelers before, but this felt different. Rex let out a low growl, the kind he only used when something was seriously wrong. "Easy, boy," Daniel whispered, but Rex didn't listen. In a blur of motion, the dog lunged forward, barking sharply. Passengers gasped and stepped back. The woman screamed as Rex jumped on her, his paws pressing against her abdomen. "Rex, no," Daniel yelled, rushing to pull the dog away. The scene dissolved into chaos. Alarms blared, people shouted, and the woman stumbled to her knees, crying. Daniel's heart pounded. He had never seen Rex react like this. "Ma'am, are you hurt?" he asked, kneeling beside her. She shook her head, her lips trembling. "Please," she whispered, "you don't understand." Before she could say more, she suddenly clutched her stomach and screamed in pain, collapsing onto the floor. "Call medics." Daniel shouted, helping her lie down. Her face turned pale as she gasped through clenched teeth. "Please, don't let them take me." Daniel didn't know what she meant, but instinct told him this wasn't about smuggling, it was something much deeper. Within minutes, paramedics rushed her away on a stretcher, with Rex whining beside them. The crowd whispered, phones raised to record, but Daniel only saw her desperate, tear-filled eyes. "I'm not a criminal," she whispered weakly. "I just didn't know what else to do." An hour later, the airport's medical unit was sealed off. Daniel sat outside, shaking Rex, resting his head on his lap. The chief approached him. "Your dog may have saved her life," he said gravely, "or someone else's." Just then, the doctor emerged, his expression a mix of astonishment and emotion. "Officer Hayes," Daniel stood, his heart hammering. "What happened? Is she okay?" The doctor nodded slowly. "She's stable. But what your dog sensed, it wasn't danger. It was distress." The woman was 8 months pregnant, but the baby was in severe distress from an undetected placental rupture. If your dog hadn't jumped on her, forcing the situation, neither of them would have survived the flight. Daniel was stunned. Rex saved her life. The doctor confirmed both of them. Word spread like wildfire. Initial headlines screamed police dog attacks pregnant woman, but soon the real story emerged. Police dog saves 2 lives. But there was still more. When the woman awoke in the hospital, she asked for Daniel and Rex. He went, Rex at his side. Tears glistened in her eyes as she reached out to pet the dog. He knew, she whispered, he knew something was wrong. She shook her head. No, not just that. He knew what I was hiding. Her voice broke as she began to cry. My name is Sarah. The baby isn't mine. I was trying to save her. Through tears, Sarah told her incredible story. She was a volunteer nurse in a refugee camp where she met a young girl named Leela, 17, pregnant after escaping a war zone. When Leela died giving birth, Sarah couldn't bear to leave the newborn behind. The baby had no papers, no family, no future. Sarah tried to adopt her legally but was denied by bureaucracy. So she took a desperate path strapping a fake pregnancy belly to herself and hiding the real newborn inside a special carrier, hoping to bring her to America. I know it was wrong, she sobbed, but I couldn't let her die in that camp. She closed her eyes. The baby stopped moving halfway through the flight. I thought I'd lost her. The realization hit Daniel like a ton of bricks. Rex hadn't sensed drugs or explosives. He'd sensed life faint fading, but still there. The internal bleeding wasn't just Sarah's. The infant had nearly suffocated inside the hidden compartment. When Rex jumped, the jolt shifted the baby just enough to restore a faint breathen instinct no human could have understood. Sarah covered her face. I was afraid they'd take her away. I was just trying to be a mother. For a long moment, Daniel was silent. Finally, he said softly, you didn't break the law of love. You just broke the rules trying to follow it. Over the next few weeks, the story exploded. News anchors told the story with tears in their eyes, celebrating an act of profound compassion. People from all over sent letters and donations. Lawyers offered to help Sarah with the adoption process. A month later, Sarah, cleared of all charges, stood outside the canine unit holding her now healthy baby, whom she had named Hope. Rex ran up, tail wagging furiously, licking her hand. Sarah laughed through her tears, whispering, "You saved us both, didn't you, boy?" Daniel stood nearby, watching with quiet pride. "He has good instincts," he said softly. But this time he was following something bigger. Sarah smiled, rocking the baby. "Maybe love has a scent," she said, and he followed it. Months later, as snow fell outside the hospital where Sarah now volunteered, she received a letter from Homeland Security. Given the extraordinary circumstances, she was officially granted custody of Hope. She hugged her baby close, whispering, "You're home now, my angel." That evening, she visited the police station to share the news. The officers cheered, clapping Rex on the back. Sarah handed Daniel a framed photo of Rex lying beside Hope's crib, the baby's tiny hand resting on his fur. "For you," she said, "because you believed me when no one else did." Daniel swallowed hard. "I didn't have to believe," he said. "Rex already did." This incredible story shows that heroes come in all shapes and sizes, and sometimes the greatest acts of love are the ones that break all the rules. Thanks for watching, and if this story touched your heart, please like and subscribe for more.